I just picked up the 1982 slasher movie, Girls' Night Out, on special edition Blu-ray from Arrow Video.
You know what really turns me on? I love to be scared. But what can you expect on a girls' night out?
Now, I had only seen this movie once, back in 2005, when I first bought it on DVD. I wasn't very impressed back then, but I was ready to give it another chance. So how did it hold up? Well, let's find out. Girls' Night Out has been described as Animal House meets Friday the 13th. So an all-night scavenger hunt is taking place on a college campus. The clues are read by a campus DJ over the radio, and the students head out into the night to find the objects. But guess what? A deranged and unseen killer has stolen a bear mascot costume and is knocking off the students one by one. Oh, and the killer has installed knives in the bear claws so he can slash his victims Freddy Krueger style. How cool is that? So the suspects are plentiful, including a former student who went on a killing spree years earlier and is now institutionalized. But he actually hung himself. Or did he? First off, I have to mention the cast here. This film is loaded with familiar faces. Now there's a lot, so I'm going to go through this fast. Revenge of the Nerds, Weekend at Bernie's, Friday the 13th Part 2, Creepshow 2, He Knows You're Alone, Amityville 2, The Burning, and finally, the legendary Hal Holbrook from Creepshow and The Fog, among others. Wow, what a cast. Oh, and this guy is actually Hal Holbrook's son in real life, which I never knew. As I mentioned earlier, I didn't really care for this one that much when I first saw it, but you know what? I liked it a lot better on the second viewing. Now, it's not perfect, and it does have some flaws, but let's start with the good. The basic storyline of an all-night scavenger hunt is awesome. I love the creepy phone calls the killer makes to the DJ, and the costume and claws makes this a unique slasher villain. I love the score, and the direction by Robert Deubel is solid. Oh, and the film has a ton of licensed songs that the DJ plays throughout the movie, which is cool. There's no doubt that a good chunk of the film's budget went to getting the rights to these songs. Although not as gory as I would like, the death scenes do have a nice intensity to them, and the ending was suitably creepy. Performances are actually pretty good all around, and Hal Holbrook really gives it his all. And I have to say, I really love seeing Lauren Marie Taylor from Friday the 13th Part 2 here. I always enjoy seeing Friday actors appearing in other horror films. So what about my issues? Well, the biggest problem is the script. All of the ingredients for a classic slasher movie are present here, but I think the script is a little too unwieldy and unfocused. As I said, the cast is great, but there are way too many characters here. Julia Montgomery makes a great final girl, but unfortunately gets lost in the shuffle. In fact, she doesn't even get a proper face-off with the killer. Also, a lot of the characters are pretty annoying, and we spend a lot of time with some of these annoying characters, and many of them don't even die. So yeah, if the script had been tweaked a bit, this could have been even better. But even still, this movie is a lot of fun. The basic premise is fantastic, and it's got a lot of strong points. I'm really glad I gave this film another chance. Oh, and I have to talk about the title real quick. Girls' Night Out doesn't really fit or make much sense. The film apparently went through many titles, with the best probably being The Scaremaker. And what a lousy ad campaign for this film too, as you saw in the trailer earlier. Yikes. Arrow Video remastered the film in 2K from a collection of 35mm film prints. An opening title card reveals the restoration efforts. Apparently the original elements have been lost, so Arrow had to make do with what they had. The good news is, the movie has great clarity and improved black levels and brightness over the old DVD release. The image looks great. The bad news? There's lots of print damage. It gets kinda heavy at times, but I honestly never had a problem with it. It adds to the film in a way and really makes it feel like you're watching this in a theater. Now, the sound on this release is a vast improvement over the old DVD, which wasn't mixed very well and resulted in some muffled dialogue during the party sequences. It's much cleaner here. Special features are plentiful. We've got a brand new audio commentary with Justin Kurzweil and Amanda Reyes, an alternate title card, trailers, and 5 brand new interviews. One with Julia Montgomery, Laura Summer, Lois Robbins, Paul Christie, and a dual interview with Lauren Marie Taylor and John Diedrichson. The interviews range from 9 to 19.5 minutes each and share some great information on the making of the film. It's also interesting how most of these people stayed friends to this day. I love that. Oh, and 2 of them were even married. There's also an archival interview from Julia Montgomery that was originally included on the DVD release. And finally, a 23-page booklet by Michael Gingold with writing on the film. The slipcover includes beautiful new art by Justin Osborne. Reversible art is included as well. Girls' Night Out is a fun, if flawed, 80s slasher movie. Arrow Video has put together a fantastic package for this obscure little film. Highly recommended.